Hi everybody, my name is Jessie and I do perfume reviews in ASMR format. So if you enjoy perfume and also ASMR, you are in a good place for our video today. Today I'm doing a review of Skylar's Salt Air. And as you can see, I have a older bottle. They did reformulate, or they changed the bottle probably like 2 years ago or something, 3 years ago. I specifically wanted this older bottle because I honestly don't really like the new bottles as much. I don't really love either of them. Like, this one's fine, but I like it more than the new ones, and then the new ones I just don't really like much at all. So that's just me in particular. I think they could do something more interesting with their bottles, but I do really love the fragrance. I don't think they reformulated the fragrance, not that I'm aware of, anytime recently. So yeah, this is the only Skylar fragrance that I own. I've definitely smelled a few others, and I think I have a few other Skylar fragrance reviews on my channel, FYI, if you want to search for those. So it's summer here. It'll probably be like August by the time this gets posted. This is a good summer scent, so yeah, I thought it'd be fun to review. As always, I try to dress on theme. I've got blue and then white. Obviously scarf is not really a summery thing, but I just wanted to add something extra to the outfit. And then blue earrings. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this fragrance a spray, and then we'll go over the main accords and the notes together. I'll tell you what my impressions are. This is a fragrance that's in my collection, so that means that I like it, and I've had it for probably about 3 years, 2-3 years. So yeah, I don't really reach for it as much. It might be one that I wind up decluttering at some point. I'm not sure, but I do like it, and I can't make any decisions about fragrances right now because I am pregnant, and that just throws off everything for me. I'm not wearing fragrances when I'm pregnant because I'm just not in the mood. So yeah. Okay, I'm just giving this a minute to fully dry down. But as you can imagine, this is called Salt Air, so something a bit salty, airy, fresh, invigorating, and it definitely is that. And also, my apologies, my nose is very runny. It's a pregnancy symptom, pregnancy rhinitis, and it's just really active today. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and give this a smell. So, okay, this has like a charged air quality. It is salty, but not, I don't know, not just like straight up salt. It has a very charged, like effervescent, almost like fizzy, ozonic quality. So yeah, I would describe this as an ozonic scent. If you don't know what ozonic means, it just typically refers to like water, whether it's like in the air or, you know, from the water, or like coming off of a mountain, or like droplets coming off of like a waterfall. But it has that like charged kind of like fresh airy water feel to it, and this is very much that to me. So think like a very fresh, invigorating, clean, salty air and water kind of vibe. Then there also is like a coconut element, but it's like a very fresh, watery coconut. I can't remember if it's coconut water or coconut nectar, but I think it's one of those. It definitely is not like as much of a creamy coconut. It's more of a fresh, young, green coconut, and I believe the coconut gives it a bit of sweetness, which to me almost has a bit of like a cotton candy smell. It almost reminds me of if you're like walking down the boardwalk and there's like the salt breeze, salt water, air breeze, and a little bit of like cotton candy drifting over from the boardwalk. So that's just me. I don't think anybody else necessarily gets cotton candy, but that's my impression from smelling it. It's just very, oh, sorry, my nose is so itchy. It's very, yeah, clean, really nice, like beachy, but not in your like typical suntan lotion, coconut floral type of way. Okay, so let's go ahead and read the main accords listed on Fragrantica. So we have marine, salty, mineral, aromatic, aquatic, coconut, and sand. So all that makes sense to me. I think there's a sand note in here as well as a couple other interesting notes like driftwood, I think. I do think it could use an ozonic accord, like I'm saying, because it very much comes off ozonic to me, but all of that makes sense. I feel like it could also use like a sweet accord, because to me it is lightly sweet, but it's definitely not a gourmand fragrance. It's not a straight up sweet fragrance. It just has a nice pleasant sweetness to balance it out, therefore winds up coming off more feminine to me. I guess I could say this is like somewhat unisex, but to me it definitely it leans feminine for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over the notes, and they are definitely missing some accords. Like there's florals in here, so there should be a floral accord. There's woody notes in here, so there should be a wood accord. I don't know why Fragrantica is sometimes just like, it just is like that. But anyway, okay, so I'm going to tell you about the notes. For our top notes, we've got 3 top notes. They are sea notes, as well as sea salt, and green coconut. Okay, so it's a green coconut note, which makes sense, and to me, it has kind of that like coconut water, green coconut water type of vibe. I'm definitely getting the sea notes, the sea salt, but it's not like overly salty. It's salty in like an airy way, in a very fresh, charged, ozonic way. Hi, Luna. Okay, and then I'll tell you about the middle notes. We've got 3 middle notes. They are mineral notes, frangipani, and jasmine. So we've got 2 florals. Frangipani is a yellow floral, very beautiful, intoxicating, tropical smell kind of thing you would get in a suntan lotion, that type of floral. I really like frangipani. I feel like it's pretty sweet, and I think maybe almost has like, I don't know, like almondy touches to it. But yeah, very tropical floral. Jasmine, also white floral, can come across sometimes as pretty tropical as well. Here's my cat Luna. And then there's the mineral notes, and yeah, I guess I'm getting that as well. That and the salt to me just gives it a very fresh, clean, effervescent sort of vibe. Okay, I'll tell you next about our base notes. 4 base notes, and they are seagrass, sand, driftwood, and sandalwood. So I don't really get seagrass or like seaweed. I don't really get that in an obvious way. There's nothing that smells like seaweedy in an obvious way to me. There's a sand note, that makes sense, kind of again adding to the like mineral, ozonic, natural quality. Makes sense. Driftwood makes sense. Nothing super woody about this, but like a dry, light wood makes sense. Sandalwood, I guess, makes sense. I'm not really getting that in an obvious way. So yeah, those are all of our notes. What I would say I am getting most, it's kind of hard to say. Obviously I'm getting the sea notes and the sea salt, definitely getting some coconut, definitely getting some frangipani jasmine. I think the frangipani in particular adds a bit of sweetness. I don't know, it's hard to say. So I'm just getting all of that. I'm going to show you what other people say they get. They say they're mostly getting sea notes, sea salt, mineral notes, coconut, seagrass, etc. So I definitely am picking up on more floral than it seems like Fragrantica users are. To me, the floral adds a nice touch of sweetness and balances it out. Otherwise it would just be like straight up like salty and like, you know, seaweed. So I'm definitely not getting anything that smells like seaweed to me. Not in an obvious way. Okay, sweet girl. So yeah, those are the notes for this fragrance. Like I said, I don't have any other Skylar fragrances in my collection. So let's go ahead and go over some more info from Fragrantica around this fragrance. It was launched in 2020, so about 5 years ago, and it has an overall rating of 3.72 out of 5 with just under 600 votes. So actually that's not the best rating. I feel like oftentimes kind of a mid-range rating would be like 3.8 or something. So I don't know. I guess some people don't particularly love this fragrance. But that's not like a horrible rating. So I feel like this is not like your typical popular fragrance profile. Some people really love this, but I think more often for like a feminine, female-oriented fragrance, it's going to be more of the like sweet, fruity, floral type of thing that's more mass appealing. Or these days, maybe like definitely more gourmand, like real sweet sort of thing. Vanilla. So anyway, this is not that at all. This goes in a very different direction. Okay, some other stats. The longevity is being rated as like kind of right in the middle. Honestly, I've not worn this in a while, so I really can't tell you. But I do recall from wearing it in the past that it does hang out on clothing at least for quite a while. Sillage, people are saying, is more on the intimate side. Makes sense. It's not like a banger of a fragrance. Gender, people are saying, is fairly unisex. I find it to be feminine leaning, like I said. It's a little sweet, a little floral. And then let's go ahead and finish up by reading some reviews. I want to try to capture a range of reviews here. So somebody says, lovely, salty summer scent, low projection and sillage, not very long lasting, but very cute and nice. If you like Replica Sailing Day but want a more feminine version with a touch of coconut, you may enjoy this. I agree with that because I do own Replica Sailing Day. To me, that is very unisex, whereas this is a little more feminine, like this person is saying. Okay, another review. Somebody says, salty beach. I had a rollerball of this and I would always take it to the beach with me to beat the sweat smell. Yeah. Somebody else says, aquatic scents aren't my favorite profile, but this one is really nice. Super fresh and mineralic. This would be nice for a pool or beach day, but I don't know if it would work anywhere else. Super hot climates would definitely suit this scent. I could see it standing up to the humidity. It smells really good layered with siren pearl. I kind of agree that this is mostly like a summer fragrance or like a vacation type fragrance, tropical vacation. Obviously you can wear whatever you want whenever you want, but I kind of agree that that is really the profile. So let's read a negative review or two. Somebody says, initial spray was very chemically, like air freshener mixed with cleaning product. Dry down was so synthetic. I couldn't put my finger on the familiar scent until I read someone else mention Play-Doh. So disappointing, and it lasted for hours. Luckily, it stayed pretty close to my skin. So yeah, I guess they're saying it smells like Play-Doh. I guess I could see that because Play-Doh has salt, but I don't know. I didn't really grow up with Play-Doh, so like I I don't ever think Play-Doh when I smell fragrances. Cat hairs everywhere. Let's read one more. Somebody says it smells like acetone and bug spray. Somebody says it's very salty in a synthetic way. I could see that. Definitely there's that very like ozonic charged profile to it. I could see how that smells kind of synthetic. I actually kind of agree. It does smell a bit synthetic, but I don't mind it. But like I said, this might be a fragrance that I wind up decluttering from my collection. I'll have to figure it out down the road. I'll have to revisit it. So anyway, that is my review of Skylar's Salt Air, and I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a good summer. I'm sending you all peace, love, beauty, and harmony, and I'll catch you again soon. Okay, bye.